at the Super Speedway. Beautiful sights all around the town. It is full of bikers, and that is what we love. It's Daytona Bike Week, the 85th annual Bike Week rally, and of course races. There's a look at some of the NASCAR champions that have won over there at Daytona National Speedway. Vendero just outside the front straightaway. There's always something going on here at Daytona, but we're going to switch it over and put them on the dirt for night number 2. Tonight is the Mission Triple Challenge for our Mission Super Twins. It's the second night in a row we've been racing. Again, the wind's out of the right to the left, so it's out of the south, blowing to the north and west out here today. Keeping us nice and cool. About 86 degrees outside, maybe a little cooler than that now. It's cooling off just a little bit at a time. Trying to water the racetrack as much as possible to try to keep it saturated for our riders. Again, we're right here in the middle of the day, the hottest point of the day basically, so we'll try to keep as much moisture on the racetrack as possible. When we get started, it'll be Mission Super Twins for their first round of practice. Right after that will be the Royal Enfield Build, Train, Race practice session, round number 1. We'll have 3 groups of AFT singles. That's the new Kicker AFT singles class, followed by the AFT Adventure Tracker class, a class that's been building for a couple of seasons. They got more races this year, so it's good to have the Adventure Trackers with us here. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll go through into qualifying round 1 and round 2. And then we'll get ready for the Mission Triple Challenge. Again, the opening ceremony is today about 30 minutes earlier than it was yesterday, about 6:30, 6:35, right around there, with our first main event firing off at, first main event. That is exactly right. It's Mission, AFT Mission Triple Challenge. The Mission riders will race their way into 3 main events tonight. They do that through qualifying. We'll take the fastest 12 out of qualifying into main event number 1. And if you don't make it out of the fastest 12, the rest of them go to a last chance qualifier, and we'll take the top 4 finishers out of that. So that's how we'll get our 16-rider field for all 3 main events. How you finish main event number 1 is how you line up for main event number 2, and how you finish main event number 2 is how you line up for the last race of the night, Mission Challenge main event number 3. Single points are awarded in the first one, double points are awarded in the second one, and triple points are awarded in main event number 3. We'll add those up, and that's how we'll get our overalls for tonight in the Mission class. Only the Mission class. The other 3 classes will be having heat races, a last chance qualifier, and a main event tonight. So, and those main events in the Mission Triple Challenge, they do pay money, $2,500 to win main event number 1, $5,000 to win main event number 2, and the regular purse for the overall. So a little extra money all on the line. Big thanks to Mission Foods, the title sponsor of that Mission AFT Super Twins class. We're at Daytona, the world center of racing. Everybody wants to win here. You can see the wins have picked up. And there's a look at the part of the pit area right there, the 8-8 Chase Sadoff. Had a good run last night. So did his teammate, the 113 Jack Brooks. Jack, the rookie up there, gets all the way up to 4th last night, and the 88 gets 2nd last night. Led some laps on that 88 Husqvarna. Chase grew up racing a Husqvarna as an amateur, so it's good to see him back on a Husky where he spent a lot of time as an amateur, and he is ready to rock here tonight. The gates just opened. Stop by if you're on your way in here. Stop by that midway area. See all of our vendors over there, all of our friends. Kicker Performance Audio is here. They got a booth set up with a lot of things on display as the water trailer continues to roll around right here. Also, our friends with Jeep Beach. They are set up right next door to the KARV large toy hauler right next door to Jeep Beach. There's all kinds of food trucks over there if you need something to eat or drink. Mission Foods is on hand. They have a booth set up as well. And don't forget to get your brand new AFT merchandise, the Daytona Flat Track t-shirts. There is the merchandise stand, and the Royal Enfields have some bikes on display. It is the Royal Enfield Daytona Short Track night number 2 out here at Daytona. If you folks have never been here, we're just outside of turn 1 of the Super Speedway, which is over there on the other side of the grassy hill. And later on tonight, you'll see people up on top of the grassy hill watching. I haven't been able to watch from up there for quite a while. I used to announce from up there before we were streaming, and it was a lot of fun because you could see the road racers going by you at about $180. It seemed like they were flying, and just watching what was going on the other side. And then, of course, watching all the action over here on the dirt side. in there, dirt's for racing, but some people like that, and different strokes for everybody. I'm myself as a flat track fan. There's Mad Dog and Jeremy over there with Kicker Performance Audio. I can see him on the screen right here. Mad Dog's over there on the right side. Stop by and see Mad Dog. They usually got some lanyards to hand you and show you the latest and greatest from Kicker Performance Audio, and they are the title sponsor of our AFT singles class. It's now the Kicker AFT singles class. A lot of riders in that class, 38 of them, so only the fastest 32 will make it out of practice and qualifying. I think practice and qualifying is more important here tonight in the Mission Super Twins class because we'll take the top 12 out of qualifying directly into their first main event. And while I'm talking about the Super Twins, let's take a look back at last night, round number 1 of the Super Twins. Cody Kopp in his maiden voyage on the Harley-Davidson grabbed the whole shot on his latest Motors Harley, and Dallas Daniels is right there on the 1. Henry Wiles works his way to the front. Breyer goes down, kind of gets into, look like the 62 of Dan Bromley's front wheel picked up and kind of went out right in front of the 3x. The 3 ends up going down. He had to start the back. Restart. Cody Kopp again there. There's Trent Lowe, the 48. He was fast all night. The 1 of Dallas Daniels. Sammy Howard's always a contender here at Daytona, and so is the 911 of Henry Wiles. Cody Kopp had a little bit of a traffic jam to deal with. Logan McGrain did the right thing, and then the 48, the bike just let go. We've been told since last night that it was the transmission. He said is on fire, so his fire-breathing Honda, that's the new Honda Hornet, and Cody Kopp would go on to take the win because they had crossed the start-finish line, picked up the white flag before the red flag came out. So he was deemed the winner, his first win in his first attempt. It's never been done before in Progressive American Flat Track. So congrats to Cody Kopp. And talking to him earlier, he says, I don't want to win like that. I want to win as I race all the way to the finish line. So we'll see what Cody's got in store. Dallas Daniels was actually closing the gap on the leader. So it was going to be one heck of a finish. Whether Dallas would have been able to do anything on that final lap, final corner, we're not sure. Chris Carr's back on hand, and he's out there slinging the shovel. Looks like a little bit too wet right there as they throw it into the corner. That is in turn number 3. So Carr's out there fine-tuning the racetrack right now. Again, trying to keep as much moisture on the track as possible, which will make it for even a racier, faster track later on tonight. It is night number 2, and again, some Mission Triple Challenge only for the Mission Super Twins. Track is looking pretty good. Again, I'm Scotty Dubler up here in the booth, and joining me early on for just a little while, we'll say until maybe 7 o'clock, Colby Carlisle. Colby, how is your throat doing? That's the most important thing.
We're doing a little bit better here today. It was a long night. We had a lot of R&D going on with different anything, pharmaceuticals, teas, honeys, everything we could possibly get. But we're feeling good. I have to give you a hats off to taking over last night and keeping us going.
Well, no problem. It was fun. I mean, you're right here. You're writing down notes and holding them to the camera so they knew what you're talking about on the other side. No, we had fun and we got through. The best word of advice I got was a shot of Jack Daniels, some honey, and some lemon. Did you go to the liquor store? Or you're on straight? I mean, you got all kinds of cough medicine over there.
I could start showing everything I've got underneath this desk, but we're doing better today, and I'm going to take it a little easy through practice and qualifying. If something's really important, I'll probably chime in, but otherwise, Scotty, I'm going to let you have that. But, man, how about last night?
It was incredible. A first-time winner in his first attempt. That's Cody Kopp. And then Drain picking up a win in that singles class. He won here in 2024 on night number 2. But last night he had to work for it.
It was really hard for me to not talk about things last night. So I was sitting here with Scotty, and there were so many things that I wanted to say. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to due to my voice being out. But how about Dallas Daniels? And you saw it in the middle part of that race. He started coming in lower into the corners. It is so impressive that he is able to figure that stuff out. There's not many riders that I've ever seen in my life, probably in yours, that can change up in the middle of the race and start driving forward like that.
We're like old dogs. We don't like change. We want to go consistently out there on the racetrack. So we try to stay in that one spot. It was hard for me to go find a new line around. I had trouble doing that. The benefit he did have is he was watching Cody Kopp in front of him. He could tell if he was gaining time by trying that or if he's losing time. And he just focused and started going in lower. And then in 3 and 4, he's going in even higher and then squaring off the corner, making that front straightaway longer. So he had a couple different lines that were working for him.
And that is the thing. He was able to see if he was catching up to Cody or not. But even with that, still there's so many riders like you and I would never really change up like that because you could lose so much time. But then again, this is a track where you can do that. There wasn't a predominant blue groove down here at Daytona. You can do that. But there's going to be tracks that we go to where there is like that blue strip around the bottom of the racetrack. You can't really search much, but that's Daytona. That's what we can get here.
Let's also talk about, Cody Kopp was leading lap after lap after lap, and it's hard to lead. You don't know how far to push in the corners, but what he was doing, and I'm not an advocate of looking back, but you said that was actually a benefit for him because he was looking back and he could tell where the number 1 bike was closing in. So it's a fine line because I've always been told if you look back, you're going backwards, but he used that to his advantage.
I would like to think that he was looking back a lot because he saw that Dallas was creeping up on him. Dallas was back 1.8 seconds, and then he's got all the way up to about half, and Cody was looking back every corner. So I think what Cody was doing was just looking back to see what line Dallas is taking to be able to catch him that fast. There's no communication, no rearview mirrors. So I think Cody was kind of doing an old school version of that, trying to see where's Dallas coming off the corners, where's he going into the corners. And we saw Cody adapt going into turn 1. He started going in lower and lower, just like Dallas.
Bikes are rolling onto the racetrack. They get one practice start. That is at the starting line. And here they come to actually, they're going to keep on going. So we didn't go to the riders meeting today, but that's what they did yesterday. Looks like they're doing things a little different because this is practice, but I thought they would do a practice start like they did yesterday. They're going straight to it. Cody Kopp leads the way because he won last night. He is our points leader by winning last night. Dallas Daniels on the 1. Trent Lowe's actually in front of him on the 48. He snuck out a little early, I guess. You can see how wet it was, but now we're already kicking up dust. So it's a very fine line between too wet, too dry. The wind and the sun is definitely not our friend right now.
No, it's not. And it is tough to prep Daytona. I was just out there talking to a buddy of mine, and it was about 20 minutes ago, right 10 minutes before practice was supposed to start, and we could see some standing water. They're trying to get as much water down on the track as they can because yesterday we saw it in qualifying, so much dust floating around as we got Henry Wiles off the track. It's just tough. Scotty, it's hot out today.
The 911 does not have a backup motorcycle. Oh, the 79 also had an issue. He's looking down at his computer. That's the brand new Aprilia right there. So you just never know what's going to happen out there. That's Henry's only bike, and he got up there and got a podium last night.
We were talking about it earlier. Unfortunately, the team didn't end up having a second bike or didn't bring it with them here down to Daytona. Henry, how about him being able to sneak on the podium 2 years in a row? I guess maybe sneak on's not the right word. He's kind of snuck on last night because he was in 4th running for the majority, 5th really, because Trent Lowe, but he was stalking Sammy Helbert for so long, and then right there at the tail end was able to nip him. And fortunately for them, Trent's bike did give up, so it gave Henry Wiles the podium spot.
Do we call that sneaky fast? Is that what we're going to call that? I mean, he's sneaking and working his way up there. Here's another new rider in this class, the 95. That is Evan Renshaw. He is on that Royal Enfield. He's up there. Looked pretty good for his debut last night. He's on that 95 Royal Enfield. Don't have any times up here for us to look at, so we're just watching practice as you folks are up here in the stands already and at home on Flow. There's the white flag right here for the 95 of Evan Renshaw from Kinzers, Pennsylvania. Got the nod. Maxwell stepping away from Progressive American Flat Track. That opened up that seat, and they gave it to Renshaw, who used to be number 65, running the 95. Looks like he's got his jacket open, trying to keep some airflow in there. It's very warm down here. Everybody's been cooped up. I know it's snowing in Denver, Colorado right now, and we're out here baking in the sun. So it just depends on where you're at and what's going on. Checkered flag is out for Big P, our flagman. They're doing the practice start in the back straightaway, so they changed it up. They don't want to tear up their front straightaway, which is probably a good move on American Flat Track's part. So again, we didn't go to the riders meeting, so that was my fault right there. There's so much other things going on.
I think another thing too with Cody Kopp looking back so much last night did involve, it was his first race. He had led so deep into that field, and I think he was at Daytona, you can kind of get defensive a little bit. You could really come in a little bit slower and hug the bottom so tight to make Dallas go around the outside of you. So I think a lot of things are going to change coming into today. I don't think he's going to be looking back as much. The old saying, got the monkey off your back.
Yeah.
Cody did it. He made history last night. Now he's already won a race, so start building, and now it's working towards a championship.
Exactly, right away. I mean, especially with Breyer, one of our title contenders, finishing back there in the 7th position after falling off early in that one, and he had to work his way through the back, and so did Brandon Robinson, who worked his way up to 6th, kept his top 6 streak alive. But here comes group number 2, Mission Super Twins. Again, it's part of the Mission Triple Challenge, so every time they go out there is very important. The 49, Chad Coase out there. He's got a new ride, doing it for Pro Roofing on that 49 Yamaha. 34 is Cam Smith. He's also on the Yamaha, I believe that's the Fredericktown Yamaha. Chad gets a little bit sideways right there in the 3 and 4. 14, Logan McGrain, I believe he was in that first group. Again, they come out according to how they finished yesterday. There's the 24, Hunter Bauer. He ended up not having a main event like he wanted. He struggled a little bit in that main event. He's on the First Impressions Husqvarna until we get out to the California swing, and he'll jump on Colby's old ride. The G&G Yamaha team's waiting for him out there when we make that West Coast swing. Chad Coase, here comes the 34. Cam Smith closing the gap. A lot of rubber down right there in 3 and 4 already. The good thing about that is it's smooth right now. There's no bumps in that rubber as Chad slips off the groove down here in turn number 3. 34, Cam Smith trying to come up the inside, take that spot away. There we go. We got Cody Kopp, quickest so far, 1:08.661. Now we got the timing, scoring, working. Hunter Bowers out there on the 24. He's up to 13th right now. So it's Kopp, Trent Lowe, Dallas Daniels, Brandon Robinson, Breyer Bauman, the top 5. The 5 we expected to be up there. There's the 27 out there on the racetrack. That's Wyatt Vaughn. They call him Red. He's actually from Michigan. He's caught up to the 70 by Declan Bender from Illinois. He's in the 17th position on the OTB Racing number 70 Yamaha.
Declan looking to have a much better night tonight than last night. He's really good on the big tracks. We know how fast those OTB Yamahas are. Unfortunately, here at Daytona, just wasn't able to get it done. And I'm not super surprised. I mean, Declan is a good short track racer, but on the twin here in Daytona, he's got his strengths. And unfortunately, last night just didn't. That wasn't what he was able to get done.
And he had a lot of issues, on the starting line. The bike creeped forward and actually hit the back end of Logan McGrain. So anything that could go wrong did go wrong for the 70 bike. There goes the 29 across the line, Billy Ross. And the 57, Ian Wolf. He's got one of those Honda Hornets as well. He's up there in the 17th position. Michelin on the 13. That's an Aprilia. His teammate is also didn't have a good run out there. Dalton Gauthier didn't get any times because his bike broke. So little practice start on the back straightaway. Sammy Halbert, no times either, so I didn't know. Maybe did we see him out there in that first group? I might have missed him. Or his transponder wasn't working, so that was first practice session. That was the 49 fastest in that group. Chad Coase moves up into the 8th position, 19.007. That's about 3/10 off of Cody Kopp as we take a look back at the replay of the 49. Chad Coase, the Pro Roofing Yamaha. Good to see him in the Super Twins class. He was out here in this class a while back. It's really crossed up. When you get just off the groove, it is slippery. I think that looked like fun, though. Here comes our Royal Enfield Build, Train, Race program. This is their practice. One practice session. The 5 is last night's winner, Emma Gotch from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. The 13, Julia Hess from Monterey, California. 17, Morgan Reinhold from Buffalo, Illinois. The 19, Sammy Weiss from Pennsylvania. 23, Kristen Rodriguez from California. The 39, Hannah Brewer from North Carolina. The 58, Mallory McGill from Missoula, Montana. 72, Brooke Lozano from Hollister, California. 113, Matisela Rodriguez from Lacey, Washington. And the 555, Giovannina Shipman, and she's from Maybrook, New York. Track looks a little bit better for these ladies right now. I think they're going to have a little bit better evening.
There is a significant more amount of rubber down today so far than what we saw yesterday.
So that tells me they didn't quite dig it up as deep as they did yesterday. I think we had a good hard surface last night. It just got dry and slick right there at the end of the practice and qualifying, but then they dug it up for the night show.
And it looks a lot smoother too. I think I wasn't in the booth yesterday watching the practice and qualifying, but it looked like off turn 2 there was some dirt starting to break apart, Scotty, and tonight they really packed it in pretty heavily. And I think that is why we're getting so much rubber down already here. We're still in free practice.
Gotch at the top spot, 20.861 for the 5 of Emma Gotch. No other times have been recorded up here in the booth for us, so they're just working it out and getting on the racetrack for their practice session. This is, again, the Royal Enfield Build Train Race program. They do this on the other side over there at the road racing too, and I would like to see those ladies, tackle the Daytona National Speedway.
These ladies gave us a phenomenal show last night. Emma Gotch and Maricela Rodriguez, along with Julia Hess, all battling. Julia Hess, very impressive to me, being her first year here in the program in battling up front with Emma Gotch and Rodriguez.
Emma Gotch had a horrible start in her heat race. I think she was in the wrong gear or popped into a different gear. Something happened off the start. She had to work her way to the win of her heat race. So Emma Gotch quickest so far, 2:0.861. Here she comes off the final corner. I believe the checker flag is getting ready to come out. Yes, it does. Emma Gotch grabs that checkered flag. She races at my home track there in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Sioux Valley Cycle Club. You been there? Did you ever race in Sioux Falls?
No, I haven't. You didn't invite me.
Well, I raced a long time ago.
I didn't know you then.
That's true. We really got to know each other when I hopped a ride with you from somewhere in New York down to Lima one time, and got to hang out a lot back then. And we also hung out quite a bit in Castle Rock. When you broke your collarbone, you guys didn't load up and leave. You hung out, and we stayed at the same hotel.
3,000 miles from home. What else we're going to do?
I thought you'd hit the road and head back, but you wanted to see what all the other racers did, which is pretty smart. I guess I wasn't that smart. AFT Singles getting staged up right now. They're going to come out for their practice session. We have 38 of them on the entry list. Only the fastest 32 will make it into the night show, which is when the heat races get started. So 3 groups of AFT Singles. Then we have our Adventure Tracker practice going to be coming to the racetrack here real soon. A new class about 2 years ago, had a little bit longer series last year for the first time, and actually the water truck is coming out before we bring out the AFT Singles. So trying to keep as much moisture in this racetrack as possible. And they're spraying it on early over there in that entrance and exit to the racetrack to try to keep the dust down over there in turn number 4. Actually, turn number 3. So we're going to take a quick break in just a moment. AFT Singles, that's the kicker AFT Singles. Their practice session is up next. Welcome back to Daytona, the Royal Enfield Daytona Short Track. Kicker AFT singles are on the racetrack out front. Tom Drain, the bomber. And the three-time winner last year, the 88 Chase Sadoff, sneaking a peek up the inside and taking the pass. He's on the First Impressions Husqvarna. Drain, of course, on the Estenson Racing Yamaha with backing from Monster Energy. Fluorescent yellow 88, looking strong out there. It's practice underway for the AFT singles. 88 Bruner, 21 Bruner, but they're looking at the 88 right there of Chase Sadoff. There's Drain right behind him on the 1. The 88 makes the pass and goes into the lead, trying to check out just a little bit. A lot of rubber going down right here, especially coming off the corners. Sadoff had made the pass on Drain, starting to pull away from him just a little bit. Sadoff grew up racing Husqvarnas his entire amateur career. This is his first time to race on a Husky as a pro rider. Chase Sadoff goes to the top spot, 1:8.330 here in practice. Take a look back at the field just a little bit further. There's Trevor Bruner on the 21 Yamaha, the 113. That's Sadoff, his teammate. There's Logan Eisenhardt, who was fast qualifier, won his heat race, ended up 5th in the main event last night, the 66 bike. It's a nice way to come back to this race class. He ran in the Mission Super Twins class about part-time last year. Jack Brooks going up the inside of Bruner. Can't even tell he's a rookie. He's trying to make the pass going into 1. Jack the Ripper passing Bruner, one of the veterans out there. Had his rookie debut last night, pulled the rookie stripe off. He'll be a 2-digit number next year. Solid 4th place finish for him. Checkered flag is out for Big P. Tadman to the top spot. 1:8.286 on the last lap. The 28 Cage Tadman goes to the top spot. He was at the very back of the pack. 227 James R. Nyes, California rider, making his debut yesterday. 82 Travis Pettin on their Waters Auto Body motorcycle, doing a little practice start here on the back straightaway so we don't tear up the front straightaway. Justin Jones, a former winner out here. He's also getting his little practice start. Jordan Bolak on the 156. Ryder Reese was out there in the 41. Don't have any times for him. I don't know if he had his transponder on or not. 82 had a good run. Pettin started deep in the field in one of the races and worked his way all the way towards the front. So Pettin feels right at home on those Waters Auto Body KTMs as we take a look at a replay. This is Jack Brooks really getting a nice drive off turn number 4. Bruner gets a little bit sideways right there, and that opened up the door for the 113. Jack Brooks trying to make that pass.
He did the same thing to Justin Jones in the main event last night, and that really impressed me to show the aggression level that he has coming into this, just automatically has the confidence to get this done. And part of that does stem from being on a team coming into this rather than just being a mom-and-pop team, a privateer team. Having a big team, you've got a big backing, and then you've got a guy like Jared Neese on the part of the team, being a big part of the team management.
And Andrew Butler.
Exactly, with Andrew Butler as well. He works directly with Mark Muth, or Andrew's working directly with Chase. But again, hats off to Jack. I mean, I did not expect a 4th place out of him at the first race.
We were thinking make the main event would be a great goal. And he goes out there and gets 4th. This is group number 2, kicker AFT singles class, 63 Jared Lowe. He's like usually my dark horse. He was my dark horse a lot last year. Had to work his way from the back of the pack last night to make the main event. There's Kelleher on the 31 bike.
Jared was really, he ended up qualifying 32nd. He kind of got a bad stick. He wasn't able to get a good time. And then the track just slowly got faster and faster for the second 2 groups. So Jared ended up in that LCQ, in the heat race. He was able to come from all the way in the back, qualifying dead last of the people that made it to the show and getting a direct transfer to the heat race. Because Scotty, not everyone here is going to be racing with us tonight.
That's right. There are 38 entries in the kicker AFT singles class. Only 32 will qualify into a heat race tonight. So 6 of them be spectators just like you and I. Nobody wants to do that. Walker Porter had to do that last night. He qualified 33rd, so he missed it by 1 spot. So right now, nobody wants to be one of those 30, those 33 through 36 position, or 38 position. And Walker Porter, you just showed me, has no times because he hasn't been on the racetrack yet, I don't think. Because he don't have any points because he didn't get any points from last night. There's the 277 made the main event last night. Had to be a little scary for him because that bike got overheated a couple times on the starting line. He still made the main, his first main. Whoa, the 210 of Jackson Singles bounces off that front straightaway wall, and Big P's going to go over there and make a little adjustment on that front straightaway. Again, doing a little practice start on the back straightaway. Cunningham twins are out there, 225, 252. The 252 is the older twin. I still can't tell them apart, but I know the 252 is older, and that is Dylan Cunningham. Tyler is on the 225. They must really like the 2s and the 5s.
I had one of my buddies, Adam James from the UK. I've been trying to help them out as much as I can, and he comes off after one of the qualifying sessions yesterday, and he goes, "Mate, I ran into the wall." I go, "Oh, dude, that's nothing.
That's
here at
Daytona. That's Daytona,
just
baby.
Keep her on, baby."
That's right, bounce off the wall. Up next, group number 3. First round of practice for the Kicker AFT singles class. They're set to roll onto the racetrack right now. As soon as Big P is done with whatever he's working on that front straightaway, he's walking off of it right now. So this is the final group. And then the Adventure Trackers, the AFT Adventure Trackers, are coming up next for their first practice session. Again, the Mission Triple Challenge is only in effect for the Mission Super Twins class. All the other 3 classes are racing heat races, last chance qualifier, main event if needed.
A little bit different than what we had last year.
There's your guy right there you've been looking for.
I've been looking for him. Man, what a bummer for him. But I'm going to look back, way back to Ryan Wells ends up doing the exact same thing, not qualifying for his first race here at Daytona on night 1, ends up winning the thing on night 2. So that's probably the best case scenario.
Well, you know what? He didn't get to race here as a pro last year because he wasn't old enough until later in the season. So that yesterday was his first pro race at this racetrack. Not giving him an excuse or anything like that, but it is a learning experience.
Yeah, it's very frustrating, especially because he watched it. Well, we had some timing issues yesterday, but he watched his name dropping down the list, and immediately Walker Porter goes up to second. But Scotty, he's gonna have the reverse order. So tonight he's getting the track with more rubber. And Terrence Antero did an 18.0 in the last session. So the track's gonna keep getting faster and faster. So Terrence Antero with that 18.0 is 1/10 of a second faster than the best qualifying time yesterday from Eisenhower.
Walker Porter, he's got the cameras on him right now. He's on the Turner Racing Honda team. He's up to second, 1:8.147. The next fastest on the track is Jordan Jean, the 56 from Midland, Michigan. He's up there, which is sliding some of the fast guys down. Tom Drain back there in 11th, last night's winner. So it just depends on when you go out onto the racetrack. Again, the fastest 32 will race into tonight's heat races. Again, this is practice and qualifying. Right now it's practice. Qualifying will be coming up the next time we come on the racetrack. There's Bronson Pierce on the A1R entry. That's the big number 132. He's the FIM Supermoto rider chasing the 93 out there. That is Kmart. Caleb Martin on the 93. Looks like your buddy Jacob James pulls out of the way, lets these two go on by. Could feel the pressure, and it's only practice, so I would try to jump in behind him as the checkered flag comes out. Travis Pettin was out there on the 82 bike. He settles into 16th quickest here in this practice session. James pulled off early, and he's just kind of coasting around a little bit. Gene had another fast lap right there. The last lap for the 56 was his fastest. He jumps up to 7th with the 1:8.335. That was the last group of our AFT singles class, which is the Kicker AFT singles class. Up next, it's Adventure Tracker practice coming up next. We do have the open paddock area right now. It is scheduled from 5 until 6:30. Opening ceremonies are about 30 minutes earlier than they were yesterday. So if you're planning on going in the pit area again, 5 till 6:30, that is when opening ceremonies start. So a new class trying to show that you can ride these bikes on the street, in the trails, in the woods, and on racetracks. Here comes the Adventure Trackers rolling this way. My man, Will Harris is on the 45. Look at him standing up. The 97 working his way out here. The 1 is Dan Bromley. And the rest of the gang pulling out here. We'll have some more names to go with their numbers a little bit later on. The water truck's already in the staging area, the water trailer, so it looks like we'll do some track maintenance right after this one before we get ready for qualifying. There goes Will Harrison, his new number 45. He was 321 last year, got a 2-digit number. He helps us out here with some things down here in American Flat Track. He's a friend of mine. Just started racing flat track about 3 years ago. Spends a lot of time at Johnny Lewis's Moto Anatomy camp out there and helps him with a lot of things. Said he put some new suspension on this motorcycle he just got Tuesday morning, so he's just trying it for the first time right now. He says, man, I just want to go out there and be safe. And I said, how about just go out there and have fun? I believe that's a BMW, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, sounds good. They're definitely tall motorcycles to go up over logs and rocks and things when you go out woods riding. Here's Dan Bromley on the 62. We got 97. I believe that's Luzak. Oh, getting a little sideways going into that turn number 3. Bromley. Luzak right behind him. Bromley's got the number 1 plate. He'll be number 62 in the Mission Super Twins class, but in this class, he's our defending champion, so he gets to run the number 1. He's also won an AFT Singles Championship quite a few years back. One of our veterans of our sport. Luzak on the BMW. White flag is out for Dan Bromley. Austin Luzak is the 97. They're the quickest on the racetrack. Third quick is the 45 of Will Harris on the BMW. Olin Kistler in 4th. Matt Beland on the 278. Michael Hills, the 47. Henry Wiles was scheduled to be in this one too, but I'm sure they're over there working on that number 911 Kawasaki in the Mission Super Twins class. So checkered flag is out. There is Bromley on the 1, Luzak on the 97. Big P is the flagman. Here comes the rest of the gang. 45 is our man Will Harris. 40, Olin Kistler. A little practice start on the back straightaway, just like the other classes. This is the only time they're going to do that. So you get one chance to get one practice start. That one still has his turn signals on right there, just in case he needs them. Almost looked like Justin Jones' way he was on that motorcycle. I believe that might be Olin Kistler. 47, Michael Hill. And the 278, Matty Beland, made his 4th main event last night, but it's his first after he discovered that he had cancer and got healed from cancer after he made the Laconia. He crashed at Laconia, got hurt, went to the hospital. They found out he had cancer. He got himself healed after having cancer, and man, what a story. He got to race here last year riding for Dan Bromley, and he's racing again for Dan Bromley in that kicker AFT singles class. And the main event again. So that's our first round of practices in the books. When we come back, Mission AFT Super Twins qualifying will be the next thing on the racetrack right here at Daytona International Speedway. Stay tuned.
Royal Enfield, the oldest motorcycle manufacturer in continuous production, is celebrating its 125th anniversary this year. They are proud to return as the title sponsor of the Daytona Short Track, which kicks off the flat track season for its teams. The 2026 Moto Anatomy powered by Royal Enfield features champion Johnny Lewis, serving as coach to new lead rider Evan Renshaw this year. In addition, Royal Enfield once again features a new lineup of build, train, race, all-female flat track racers that compete on the AFT Pro Circuit. During Daytona Bike Week, check out the Royal Enfield demo area to test the full lineup, including the first opportunity for consumers to ride the brand new Classic 650. After Daytona Bike Week, visit royalenfield.com to find a dealer near you and learn more about the storied past, present, and future of Royal Enfield as it continues to celebrate its 125th anniversary in 2026. Royal Enfield, pure motorcycling since 1901. Back on Track, a Rookies of 79 501c3 charity, was established in 2009 by former racers to help injured racers get back on the racetrack or the track of life. Assistance is provided to injured racers through our posted schedule of benefits and special fundraising programs, where 100% of your donation goes directly to ease the financial burden from an injury sustained on the racetrack. Check us out on the web at backontrack.com and donate today. Every donation is tax deductible and will make a difference in an injured racer's life.
From quick jobs to major projects, getting rentals right takes more than machines. It takes know-how to show up right on every job site, service that keeps equipment at its peak, and local dealers who keep projects moving forward. We're here to deliver everything you need to get the job done right, and so much more. Cat Rentals. More when you need it most.
We're going full throttle with Mission Foods. There's no holding back American flat track when you combine the fiercest dirt track riders and tastiest products. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Gotta have a lucky charm when you ride, right? Makes you feel safe and protected out there.
That's why I never leave home without a photo of the little ones.
Bracelet from my husband.
Oh. Lucky rabbit's foot.
Lucky rabbit named Foot. It's Swedish.
That's a whole rabbit.
Name's Foot.
Well, there's really no need for a lucky charm when you ride.
Not when America's #1 motorcycle insurance got your back.
We're just gonna ignore the fact that Carl has a rabbit.
Name's Foot.
Sugarlands is proud to serve as the official moonshine of Progressive American Flat Track. Sugarlands handcrafts award-winning moonshine, sippin' creams, vodka, whiskey, and more inspired by the traditions of their home in the Great Smoky Mountains. Discover more at sugarlands.com. For over a decade, Dunlop has supported all Progressive American flat track classes with their elite flat track tires. Designed for pro and amateur riders alike, Dunlop's DT4 has an aggressive tread pattern, is available in multiple compounds, and can be run tubeless for greater overall performance. Dunlop, the official tire of Progressive American Flat Track. Win every race with VP Racing. Designed specifically for moto and power sports applications, VP's wide line of race fuels, lubricants, coolants, and additives give you the power and performance you need to win every lap and every race. Check out their championship-winning products today at vpracingfuels.com.
Welcome back to the Royal Enfield Short Track at Daytona. Night number 2. Things are going to be a little bit different tonight. Mission Super Twins riders will be racing a Mission Triple Challenge. So qualifying is very important. When they come onto the racetrack, they'll be qualifying, and we're looking for the fastest 12 to make it directly into main event number 1, which will be the first race after opening ceremonies. The rest of them have to come back and race a last chance qualifier before we take our break in the action to get ready, get the track ready to go. So the Mission Triple Challenge is in effect tonight. So Mission qualifying is very important. Here comes our Mission AFT Super Twins. Cody Kopp will lead them out. On the 12, the 1 is Dallas Daniels. 69, Sammy Halbert. 67, Davis Fisher. 44, Brandon Robinson. The 3, Briar Bauman. And the rest of the gang rolling on the racetrack. Coming out according to how they finished last night. Kopp right at the edge of the groove. Now starts twisting the throttle down the back straightaway on his Harley Davidson. Colby said a few moments ago that it might be faster a little bit later on. Will it play effect in the Mission Super Twins as much as it did in the AFT singles class? Cody Kopp slips off the groove going into 1. He's up in the looser stuff. Daniels on the bottom. He elects not to pass him. Here comes Davis Fisher. He sends it around the outside. Got a 5th place finish last night. He told me he felt like he got lucky because when that red flag came out, he said it felt like, he said Robinson was going to go by, and he also felt like Briar Bauman was going to go by. Briar goes to the top spot, 1:8.614. McGrane goes up to second, 1:8.738 for the freight train. They're all nose to tail, deeper in the field. Here's the fastest on the racetrack. No, it's the 44, and now the 3 second quickest. 1:8.733 was fastest from time qualifying as Cody Kopp, and McGrane goes back to the top spot on the 14 bike. That's the Ryan Varnes Racing Schaefer's Motorsports. Now he slips down to second, and just as I said that, Kopp is going the wrong direction on the 12 bike. He is currently 12th out of the 12 bikes that are on the racetrack. It looks like he's just off the groove, and he's drifting the wrong direction. Maybe they're trying something different. Logan McGrane up there 3rd. He told me that's what he wants to do, make it straight into the main event. Nobody wants to run that last chance qualifier, so they'll take the top 12 out of both combined qualifying sessions to go directly to main event number 1, the Mission Triple Challenge. Daniels on the 1 Estenson bike. Here comes the 62. Dan Bromley up to second, 1:8.472. Daniels 1:8.392. 44, Brandon Robinson 3rd. And things change. Just as I say that, Briar Bauman goes to the top spot, the 3 bike. 1:8.320 goes to the lead right there on that last lap. A 1:8.320 for Briar Bauman. Dallas Daniels goes to second. Last night's winner, Cody Kopp, on that last lap finally goes up to 4th. He was in 12th until that last lap, so maybe he's just searching around. Maybe didn't want to show anybody his lines, but that was a little bit wild and crazy for group number 1, Mission AFT Super Twins. It's Briar, Dallas Daniels, Davis Fisher, Cody Kopp, Sammy Halbert, Robinson in 6th, Bromley, Ben Lau, Logan McGrane, Renshaw. Yeah, Wiles was supposed to be out there in the 911, did not make it out for this first group. Here comes group number 2. Chad Coase on the 49, Cam Smith on the 34. A couple of Yamahas out in front. Right behind him is the Price is Right, Brandon Price on the 92. Another Yamaha, that's the OTB Yamaha. 24, Hunter Bauer on the First Impressions KTM. 70, Declan Bender. 11, Daniel Poole. 27, Wyatt Vaughn. 13, Morgan Mishler. 26, Aiden Roosevens on the Harley Davidson. 29, Billy Ross. 47, Michael Hill. 57, Honda is Ian Wolf. Quick time right now, it's Cam Smith, the 34, 1:8.303. Just like Colby said a few moments ago, the later sessions are going faster. This might put some fast guys a little bit later on into a semifinal. Aiden Roosevens goes to the top spot, the 26, 1:8.064 for the rookie in the Mission Super Twins class. Smith 2nd, Briar Bauman still sitting in 3rd, Dallas Daniels is 4th. Now Brandon Price, who's on the racetrack right now, he's currently in the 5th spot. You could almost see the rubber coming off that 49 bike when he grabbed a handful in that blue groove coming off of turn number 4. There's Roos Evans, the 26. Quickest so far in qualifying in your Mission AFT Super Twins class. He just went pro yesterday in the Super Twins class. The black and white Harley Davidson still at the top spot, 1:8.064. Billy Ross closes up to second, 1:8.215 for the 29 Suzuki. Chad Coast goes up to third. Cam Smith back there in the 4th spot. Right now, through this first round of qualifying, it is Aiden Roos Evans from Southern Illinois on the A1R FRA Trust sponsored motorcycle. They call him NASA because he's out of this world. NASA's right down the street. Maybe that's why he's going fast. Roos Evans, 1:7.895. One bike in the 17-second range. That's the fastest lap we have seen today by the 26 bike. Aiden Roos Evans just takes a look over his shoulder. He knows where he's at. That's got to be a good feeling, especially here at the World Center of Racing. Roos Evans at the top spot. Billy Ross in second on the 29. Chad Coase is third. Cameron Smith is fourth, and Briar Bauman fifth, who is in group number 1. That was your Mission AFT Super Twins. Up next, Royal Enfield Build, Train, Race. Ladies, here they come. 10 riders coming out according to their point standings. This is their first qualifying session. 5 is Emma Gotch, the 13, Julia Hess, 17, Morgan Reinhold, 19, Sammy Weiss, 23, Kristen Rodriguez, 39, Hannah Brewer, 58, Mallory McGill, 72 is Brooke Lozano, 113, Maticela Rodriguez, and the 55, Giovannina Shipman. Ladies are on the racetrack, Royal Enfield Build, Train, Race program. There is last night's winner, who also won one time here last year, Emma Gotch on the number 5, Royal Enfield INT 650. Hear Emma on the rev limiter. She goes by the camera down there on that back straightaway. You can also hear the steel shoes sliding on the blue groove out here. This racetrack is used for go-karts as well, and the last time the go-karts were here, they had rubber from the inside all the way to the outside, but when you have that many go-karts with 4 wheels on the racetrack, it takes rubber a lot faster. Julia Hess goes to the top spot, 19.946. Emma Gotch is second, 20.136. Kristen Rodriguez, the California rider, was third. Now she slides back to fourth. Here comes Brewer up to the 4th position on the 39. Quickest on the racetrack right there is the 13. Julia Hess going up the inside of Mallory McGill on that 58 bike. Big P starting making his way out there onto the racetrack, getting that white flag ready for qualifying session number 1 for the Royal Enfield Build, Train, Race program. Rodriguez, that's Maticela Rodriguez, jumps up to the 5th position on the 113. There is the white flag. Brewer on the 39. Hannah Brewer's moved into 3rd. Julia Hess, still the fastest female on the racetrack right now. The 39 misses the groove down here in turns 3 and 4, no problem. They keep on going. Checkered flag is out for the 13 of Hess and the rest of the ladies. Good run by Kristen Rodriguez, the California rider, up there in that 4th position. Sammy Weiss on the 19. Up next is your AFT singles class, Kicker AFT singles class. There will be coming out for their qualifying session. It'll be 3 groups. Fastest 32 will make it into the night program. A little different than the Mission Super Twins. They're running a normal format, just like last night's heat race, last chance qualifier, and main event for our Kicker AFT singles class. Looks like the water truck is staged up first, so try to put more water on it early as we can. Again, after the break in the action, after practice and qualifying is all done, and this Mission Super Twins last chance qualifier is done, then that break will happen from about 5 until 6:30, and that's when opening ceremonies will happen, and that's when they will completely redo the racetrack. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Kicker AFT singles qualifying is up next. Welcome back to the Royal Enfield Daytona Short Track Night number 2. Kicker AFT singles rolling onto the racetrack for their qualifying session. There are 38 of them, only the fastest 32 making it out of qualifying. Out front, the number 1 rider in the country. He's from Australia, the first Australian to win a championship in Progressive American Flat Track. It is Tom Drain. Right behind him is Chase Setoff, and right behind him is the KMA rider, the 21. That's Blackjack, Trevor Bruner. Jack Brooks, 4th on the racetrack, the 113. Hard on the throttle, early on the throttle down here in 3 and 4, or 1 and 2 especially. A little bit narrow groove down here in 3 and 4. Drained the one by going in a little bit lower than the groove, just like his teammate did last night in the main event. Drained the top spot. Braden Fanders on the OTB 83 moves into 2nd. Tadman goes to 3rd. The rookie James R. Nyes move into that 4th spot. Now here comes Pettin. Pettin on the Waters Auto Body KTM. He slides into 3rd on the 82 bike. 17.970. First time we've seen a single in the 17 bracket. Now we got 2 of them. Justin Jones moves up there into that 17.925 to the top spot. Number 91, quickest on the racetrack right now. Former winner out here at the Daytona Flat Track. Way back in, 2015 is when Justin Jones won. Jones got him a new sponsor for this year. Got a 91 bike doing it for Fairway Ford, Chevy, GMC. Go back out in front. Drain goes to the top spot again. 17.751 for the Bomber. Jack Brooks, the rookie, goes up to 3rd. 17.968 for Jack the Ripper. So many different nicknames you can use for Jack Brooks. Was lucky number 13. Now he's 113 as a pro rider. Checkered flag is out. Big arcing straightaway. There is no straightaway on the front side. They're curved from turn 4 all the way to turn number 1. Barely have time to set up straight. Quickest in qualifying so far, Tom Drain, the 1 bike, 17.751. Justin Jones is 2nd on the 91, 17.847 on the last lap. Paige Tadman jumps into 3rd, 17.922. Jack Brooks is 4th. The 113 is a 17.968. Chase Setoff is in 5th, 18.008. So about an 18-second flat. So Yamaha, Honda, Husqvarna, and Husqvarna. Here comes group number 2. Kicker AFT singles rolling onto the racetrack. T-Money, Terrence Santero, the 75. Petaluma, California rider. Leads the group into turn number 3. Really scrubbing the front end right there. Helping them slow down for that 3rd corner. There's the arcing front straightaway. Looks like Jared Lowe, the Jet, right behind him. And the 277, Savage, made his first main event last night. Skylar Sintel, 3rd generation flat tracker from Michigan on the 60 machine. Kelleher's out there on the 31. Savage makes a little bobble, no problem. Stays right there 2nd on the racetrack. Make that 3rd on the racetrack. You can almost see the rubber coming off the tires over there in turn number 2. It's incredible. 277 slips wide. Sintel goes by. Kelleher's going to come on with him. Santero goes to the top spot. The 75, quickest in qualifying so far, 17.597. That's the fastest lap we've seen this weekend out of anybody. Drain in 2nd, who was in that first group. No surprise for me. There's somebody's shroud laying on the ground over there in turn number 3 as the white flag comes out. Santero, California rider. Cut his teeth out there at the Lodi Cycle Bowl, a real slippery groove track. Drain 2nd. Landon Smith jumps up to 9th right now. The 43 of Killswitch, Jacob Vandekoy jumps into that 5th position on the 43 bike. So again, each time, each session, the bikes are getting a little bit quicker, a little bit quicker. And if I was in group number 1, I'd be a little upset about that. 2:10 across the line right there. Jackson Singles goes up to 20th. Sintel's 60 bike is 7th. Quick time in qualifying with the one more group to go. The 75 is Santero. Tom Drain in 2nd. Justin Jones, Jared Lowe, Jacob Vandekoy. Tadman slides back to 6th. Sintel, Jack Brooks goes down to 8th. Landon Smith was out there. He is up there in the 9th. Logan Eisenhardt, who was fast qualifier last night, who ran 5th in the main event, sitting 18th quick right now. Here comes the 3rd and final group of the first round. Walker Porter, who did not make the cut last night, will lead the rest of the gang out there. This should be a real quick session for the 10. He wanted to get out in front and pull away from everybody else, have some clean racetrack. So we'll see what kind of lap times the Alabama Slammer can lay down right now. The 10 bike, the Turner Honda. Got to keep it down there on that groove if you want to go fast. Looks like there's more rubber to me down here from the finish line around through 1 and off of turn number 2. Is more rubber on this side of the racetrack than there is on the other side. 238 taking a look over his shoulder. That's one of the James brothers. That's Adam James. Jacob James is his brother. The 404, the 2 riders from the UK. So is Jack Bell, the 139, also from England. McLean Drucker out there on the 42 bike.
I told him to do that.
Told him to do what? Go out there, jump out and get the lead?
Well, I was telling him that here at Daytona, if you're stuck behind a rider because qualifying is so important, it's worth wasting a lap. Like, so he put his hand up there to get some space between Jack Bell and him, but he unfortunately made a mistake there at the end of that lap. But
that makes sense. Top 32 moving on. This is only the first round. They'll combine the times from the first round into the second round. KTM Johnny, the 122, is up there to the 31st spot. Want to get a little bit further up than that. Walker Porter right now currently 10th to see if he can drop that time down a little bit further. Santero, Drain, Walker Porter, Justin Jones, and Jared Lowe, your top 5. There's the white flag already. That looked like a really fast lap. Let's see if it's good enough. 17.797 for Walker Porter. That didn't improve any time last lap. Checkered flag this time. AFT Singles. There's the 10 to Walker Porter to that checkered flag. That's got to feel good anyway. It doesn't matter if it's practice or qualifying. If you can lead every session, every lap of that session, it's got to feel really well. 122 across the line. 112, Gabriel Boisvert, Canada, 35th right now. KTM Johnny jumps up to 21st on that last lap. Porter was the quickest on the racetrack in that group. He is 3rd quick. Caleb Martin up there 17th quick for Kmart. Conaby 21st on the 122. Up next, Adventure Tracker qualifying round number 1. They're staged up and ready to go. Will Harris was 4th quick in that first practice session. Dan Bromley on the 1 was quickest. Matt Beland is out there, the 278. 97 is Luzak. Doesn't look like all the adventure trackers have made their way up there just yet. Stop by that souvenir stand when you get a chance. Grab yourself a t-shirt, grab something to eat or drink. There's always a lot going on right here at Daytona Flat Track. It's the Royal Enfield Daytona Short Track night number 2. Little man crush going on there. What's going on, Colby? I mean, come on. People just come in here, take your picture. I mean, what is happening right now?
That was my doppelganger.
Oh, so he's just showing the picture to his mom so she knows,
I don't
or
know
what?
I don't know. I'll probably see it on the American Flat Track Instagram here shortly.
That's JD, for those who don't know. Here comes the adventure trackers rolling out there. Looks like only 4 of them making it out here. We have 7 of them on our list. The 40 bike, Olin Kistler, 45. Will Harris, 47. Michael Hill, 62 is Dan Bromley. 97, Austin Luzak. 278, Matty Beland. And 911, Henry Wiles, who didn't ride practice either, I'm sure. They're over there thrashing on his AFT Mission Super Twins bike because that is what he came here to race. This is a bonus class for Henry, so he wants to get out there and make sure that the Super Twin is ready to go. There goes Luzak, the 97. 40, Olin Kistler goes a little wide over there in that second corner. Luzak had a good run at a couple of the races last season. It's a BMW. Take those turn signals, the mirrors off, and make it a little bit more racy. And some people are putting suspension in different pipes. Squawking the tire a little bit, going in the corner. Luzak out in front, 19.444 quick times for him. One up missing the corner down there, but that's Kistler. Will Harris slides on by in the 45. This is qualifying round 1 for the AFT Adventure Tracker class. Mr. Jesse Janish, I thought he was coming down here. I saw a snap or an Instagram post earlier from Red. Had some old leathers out there, so I just assumed that he was going to be here. Raced with us last year in the Adventure Tracker class. There goes the 45. Will Harris got company coming. Here comes the 40 by Kistler's up to second quick. Janish says he's here. Cell phones are amazing. I thought I saw Jesse Janish yesterday. I thought he'd be out here on the racetrack. Watch out. Dan Bromley's focusing on that Super Twins. He'll be out here for qualifying round 2. Luzak goes up to the high side down here in 1 and 2. Here comes the 40 bike of Kistler off that final corner, taking that checkered flag. Will Harris across the line. 278, Matt Belan. So 4 of them making an attempt out there in the first round of qualifying. Jesse said he'll be at the Peoria TT though for sure, so we'll watch out for him. He's always fast at the TT. Well, that's it for our first round of qualifying. That was your AFT Adventure Tracker class. We have one more round of qualifying, then we'll get ready for our Mission AFT Super Twins last chance qualifier, because the Mission Super Twins class is racing the Mission Triple Challenge. They will have 3 main events here tonight. To get qualified for that, we'll take the top 12 out of qualifying, and then we'll have a last chance qualifier. We'll take 4 more out of that one. That will set the field for main event number 1, which will happen right after opening ceremonies. Again, opening ceremonies is about 30 minutes earlier here tonight, about 6:30 East Coast time. And then we'll start our first race right when opening ceremonies ends with our first Mission AFT Super Twins, part of the Mission Triple Challenge. 3 main events is what we get to watch out here in our Mission Super Twins class. So take a quick break in the action to do a little track maintenance. When we come back, it'll be time for our second round of qualifying out here at the Royal Enfield Daytona Short Track. Welcome back to the Royal Enfield Daytona Short Track. Night number 2. Tonight's a little bit different than last night. Mission Triple Challenge for the Mission Super Twins class. That means they'll have 3 main events. The first main event is 10 laps. It pays single points. The second main event is 15 laps. It pays double points. And the third and final main event, which will be the last race of the night, is our Mission Triple Challenge main event number 3. It will pay triple points. We'll add up the points from main event 1, 2, and 3. The rider with the most points will be the overall winner here tonight, and that's how the official points will be paid out. So the points for each main event is just to find the winner for tonight. So it's a little bit confusing. I'll try to keep you updated as we get the results up here in the booth. But 3 main events is what you get to see in the Mission Super Twins class. The other 3 classes will be running heat races, last chance qualifier, and main event just like last night. Up next will be second round of qualifying. It'll be Mission AFT Super Twins, then the Royal Enfield Build Train Race qualifying round 2, AFT Singles qualifying round 2, and then the AFT Adventure Trackers round 2, and then the Mission Super Twins will come back for their last chance qualifier. So we'll take the fastest 12 out of qualifying, and then we'll take 4 more out of that last chance qualifier for the Mission Super Twins class to get into that first Mission Triple Challenge main event. Again, 3 of them. The first main event will be right after we get done with opening ceremonies. Round number 2, Progressive American Flat Track. Round number 3 is 2 weeks away at Sonoy up there just outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And then we start heading for the West Coast to make that West Coast swing. So just kicking the season off at Daytona Bike Week just like we do every year out here on the Moon Dirt. While we're waiting for the bikes to stage up, let's take a look back at last night's kicker AFT Singles action. This is after the restart. Drain grabs the whole shot on the one bike. Sadoff right there jumps into second. Jones was right there in the 91 for a while. Bruner works his way up there in the 21. Jones slips a little bit wide. The rookie, Jack Brooks on the 113. Here's the battle for the lead. Sadoff, who hasn't won at this racetrack just yet. He's got history with the one bike, but after the races, they both fist pump, so they got respect for each other, it seems like right now. The one would win his second Daytona flat track last night. Sadoff would be second. Bruner third on the 21, and the rookie Jack Brooks would be fourth. So here comes the water trailer heading back out, a real quick spray, and then looks like the Mission Super Twins are pulling up next, and Henry Wiles is finally back on the 911. Again, they only brought one bike with them, so they had to spend some extra time getting that bike ready to go. Maybe that's why he wasn't out there on that adventure tracker. 12 bike. Cody Kopp made history last night to win his first ever race in his first ever attempt. Nobody has ever done that in our sport. The fastest was 2. Night number 2 was actually Kenny Roberts did it. I believe that was at the Houston Astrodome, and also Ricky Winsett did it down here in Daytona, but it was at the Municipal Stadium, not this racetrack facility out here at Daytona International Speedway. So Cody Kopp, first rider ever in our sport to win his first attempt. When that water trailer pulls off, we'll send the bikes right back out. Again, it's your Mission Super Twins going to roll onto the racetrack right now. This is qualifying. It is very important. We're looking for the fastest 12 riders out of qualifying. If you don't finish in the top 12, you will have to come back in one last chance qualifier to take the top 4 out of there, so that will get crazy. 25 entries. Only 16 will make the main events. All 3 main events. Chris Carr is going to send him on the racetrack. Here comes Cody Kopp on the 12, the 1, Dallas Daniels. 911, Henry Wiles. 69, Sammy Halbert. 67, Davis Fisher. 44, Brandon Robinson, and the rest of the gang. 3 is Briar Bauman, who finished up 7th last night after coming off the ground and working his way up towards the front. Kopp on the 12 bike was a little bit slow getting going in that first qualifying session. Let's see what he does here in session number 2. Kopp had won here quite a few times on the AFT Singles class and picks up the win where he left off in this Mission Super Twins class. Again, this is qualifying every lap. The fastest lap is what we're looking for out of session 1 or session number 2. Daniels to the top spot on the one bike, 17.675 for Dallas Daniels. Kopp slips off the groove down here in 3 and 4. Looks over his shoulder just barely. Want to make sure he wasn't pulling right in front of somebody else. A little bit of chatter, a little brake bumps going into 1 and 2, especially turning 1 right now. 12 hard on that rev limiter. Some braking bumps now. You can see the back tires bouncing up and down when they hit those braking bumps going into turn number 3 as well. Very hard-packed surface out here at the Daytona Short Track. Kopp goes to third. Davis Fisher moves up to second, 17.741. The 67 second quickest so far. Now here comes Briar Bauman up to third on the 3 bike, 17.752. They are picking up the pace. White flag is out for Dallas Daniels, the Matt Toon, Illinois rider. Closing in on the 12 bike. Kopp, last night's winner, sitting back there in fourth. Fourth will be good enough to put him on the front row. Dan Bromley, the 62 Suzuki, jumps up to seventh on that last lap. Checkered flag is out. Gautier, the 79, was also on the racetrack. Trent Lowe off the pace just a little bit compared to last night. Trent Lowe back there in the 13th on his Honda Hornet. Ben Lau in the 12th spot. Renshaw on the Royal Enfield is 11th. Gautier on the Aprilia is 8th. It's Dallas Daniels. Quick time here in this second round of qualifying, 17.675. They'll combine the times from the first session and this session. Again, the fastest 12 will make it directly into the first of 3 main events. Group 2 is up next. Chad Coase on the 49, Cam Smith on the 34, Aiden Roosevans, the 26, was fastest in that last session. They're trying to pass each other to all race into that first corner, but they're all chasing the Pro Roofing 49 of Chad Coase. Cam Smith right behind him. A couple of Yamahas. 1, 2, and 3. Actually looks like Brandon Price is slid up there in that third spot. Whoa, Cam Smith gets into the back tire of the 49 Chad Coase. He wants to go faster. Try to give a little bump to the 49, get him out of the way. Time to beat, 17.675. Cam Smith looking for a way through that Fredericktown Yamaha. Front wheel comes up for just a second on the 49 bike. 34 is right there in the shadow. Cam Smith looking for a way through. Now he's going to back off. He says, I'm going to get back in line. He said, that guy's slowing me up. Hunter Bauer jumps up to 13th. Declan Bender goes to 12th. Price on the 92 trying to find some speed. 19th for Price. Coase, the leader right now, 17th. Roosevans goes to the top spot. Aiden Roosevans on the Harley Davidson goes to the top spot, 17.606. The 26 fastest on the racetrack once again, just like the first round. Back out in front, 49, Chad Coase sitting 17th quick. That's not be good enough to go directly to the main event. It is hard to go slow to go fast, but we'll go right back to the quickest time so far. Both sessions, the 26 of Aiden Roosevans, new to this class, trying to do what Cody Kopp did last night. Try to get sideways right in front of him. Roosevans says, I'll see you in the main. Goes right on by. Aiden Roosevans picking up that checkered flag right there. He's quick time in the first round, quick time in round number 2. A good showing for that Harley Davidson. Roosevans, Dallas Daniels, Davis Fisher, Briar Bauman, Cody Kopp, your top 5 in this second session, the second qualifying session. Sammy Halbert, Brandon Robinson, Dan Bromley. Take a look at a replay. The 49 really got sideways right in front of the 34. The 34 gets up there and gives him a little tap. Says, get out the way. Shortly after that 34 backed off, we'll take another look at a different replay from the other side. Again, the 49 just gets really crossed up right there, kind of gets off the gas, and 34 is coming in hot. Maybe a little love tap right there, and Chad says, who's coming? Every lap, very important. Billy Ross on the 29 jumps up to 9th on that last couple of laps on his Suzuki. That's it for qualifying. Oh, we got a rider down on the ground in the Royal Enfield Build Train Race program. Looks like Sam Weiss goes down the 19. She gets up. She's okay. She might have to phone a friend to help her pick that motorcycle up. These things are heavy. Trying to pop that lens up. Looks like her airbag suit has inflated, so it looks she'll be all right. We're gonna try to pop that bike into neutral. We'll take a look at the replay. We were looking at results, and here's the 19 just getting in there a little bit too hot. And there goes the front end, just kind of scrubs underneath. And oh no, the high side. Luckily, it wasn't that bad of a high side. She got laid down pretty gently. Instead of spitting her off the handlebars, she actually hung on to him as long as she could. The 19, Sam Weiss, going down over here in that first corner. Looks like she's up and okay. She's moved to the infield of the racetrack right now, so they're taking her helmet off real quick and just checking on things. The rest of the ladies have come over here into turn number 3 and 4, the hot and the cold box. Take a quick break and gather their thoughts before they send them on back out there. Daytona International Speedway paramedics are right there checking on her, making sure everything's good. Also, our traveling medic that goes with us to all the races, Kevin, is down there as well, talking to her, making sure she's okay. Sammy Weiss, Pennsylvania rider, going down. Looks like she's getting everything checked out. She said, "Where'd my motorcycle go?" Low side and then kind of high side. She hung on to it for as long as she could. It's hard to get high side off a motorcycle, and she did a good job trying to hang on to that bike as long as she could. So she's up and okay. For these other ladies that are sitting over here, they're worrying about her friend. She is okay. She's kind of walking things off right now, so that's good news. She's looking for a motorcycle. Let's take a look back at Aiden Rusevens in the twins. Just a moment ago, the 26 had a little bit of a moment right there with the 27, getting a little sideways, and the 26 coming on through. He's like, "Hey, man, what you doing?" Some of these guys are friends on and off the racetrack, kind of having fun with each other and say, "Hey, man, I'm trying to get on by you." So a little hand gesture. It looks like the 19's getting a little look at over here. Maybe just getting a free ride back to the pit area, maybe, just in case. Possibly. The motorcycle's being pushed through the infield. They go back to the crew. Nick Daniels and Johnny Lewis will be waiting for that motorcycle to get back over there and see if they can get that bike ready to go, if Sam can continue on. Sammy Weiss, this is her first year with us on the 19 bike. Pretty motorcycle. I like the purple wheels. She's Coopersburg, Pennsylvania. There goes the bike back to the pit area. This is the last round of qualifying for your Royal Enfield Build Train Race Program. Singles are next. After that, the Adventure Trackers, and then we'll get ready for our Mission Super Twins last chance qualifier to make it into the night show. Vendero is happening already early on. We went over there earlier today. Colby Carlisle, myself, and Christy Lee went and checked it out. There's a lot of stuff to do over there in Vendero. KARV has a big toy hauler set up right next to Jeep Beach. Go see our friends with Jeep Beach. There's several food trucks on hand. Mission Foods has a booth set up. The official AFT merchandise is on sale over there. And right next to the official merchandise is our friends with Kicker Performance Audio. Jeremy and Mad Dog are here this weekend, and they got some free lanyards and some other cool stuff on display. And, of course, back on track, we'll have the ladies roaming around with the raffle tickets. Last night they did in the right helmet. Not sure what they're raffling off tonight. We'll find out a little bit later on from Ronnie Jones or Jackie Mitchell or maybe even Tommy Duma. The rest of the ladies have fired up their motorcycles. We're going to send them out. This is their second round of qualifying for the Royal Enfield Build Train Race Program. Here they come. Kristen Rodriguez says, "I'm going to go with the back of the pack." She's from Stanford, California. Leader slips a little bit wide down here in 1 and 2. It's the 113, Maticela Rodriguez. That's going to cost her a spot. There are two Rodriguezes out there. They are not related. One ends in a Z and one ends in an S. 13, Julia Hess charging deep into turn 1 on the rev limiter, then chops off the throttle. I'm gonna have to go out there and check out the Dunlop tires on the, especially on the Super Twins and AFT singles, because they're really throwing the rubber off of those tires coming off those corners. I like the red finish line. You can see it on the white dirt. Sometimes we use white paint, but when you get down here at Daytona, you put white paint on whitish dirt, it's kind of harder to see. So I like that they're putting the red dirt down there, kind of mission colors. Hey man, the 13 is hard on the throttle. Hess goes to 19.389. Here comes Emma Gotch up to second, 19.651. That's Brewer now in third, 19.732. So the ladies are getting faster as they go out there each time too. Not only the singles, not only the Super Twins, but these Royal Enfields are getting faster each time they go out. There's last night's winner. She also won here last year, Emma Gotch from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. She's currently third in this session. 113 slips wide just in front of her. That's Rodriguez. Big P pulls the white flag out of his back pocket. One more lap around the Daytona flat track. .39 having a good run. She's up to fourth. That's the 19.694 for Hannah Brewer. As the checkered flag flies. Final round of qualifying for the Royal Enfield ladies. Gotch moves up to second on that last lap from third. Was a little bit quicker. Next will be the AFT singles qualifying round 2. Fastest 32 singles riders make it out of qualifying into tonight's program. The other 6 riders become spectators. And we'll see them in 2 weeks when we go to Sonoy, just outside of Atlanta, Georgia. 38 entries here today. I believe one of them was a scratch, if I'm not mistaken. Aiden Brown says they got the purple wheels from him. I'd have to agree. Aiden Brown had the purple wheels first. He's always got the coolest kit. AFT singles on the racetrack, the 1. Tom Drain, last night's winner. Right behind him already is the 88 Chase Sadoff. Sadoff looking for a way through. And also wants to learn what Drain's doing at the same time. Drain, Sadoff, the 1 and the 88. 21, Trevor Bruner. 113, Jack Brooks. So 36 riders on our sheets. We might have had 2 riders scratch, so 4 riders will not make it. The 88 up the inside. Chase Sadoff maybe throwing a little statement right there. So, hey, don't forget about me. Sadoff goes past and takes the top spot away from the 1, but it's Eisenhart back to the quick time. 17.710 for Logan Eisenhart, who was quick time last night. Sadoff in second, 17.763. Tadman fast. Drain is fourth. Jones and Bolak. Dominic Bolak in the 6th spot. Pettin, Vanders, Brooks, Bruner. Bruner way back in 10th right now in this session. There's Logie Bear, the 66, off of turn number 4. Still at the top spot, 17.710. There's Jordan Bolak right there, the 156 from Quebec, Canada. Speaks French, a little bit of English. White flag is out. Eisenhart at the top spot, 17.710. Jones in second. Sadoff, who's led most of these laps, is third quick in this session. Bruner drops down to 12th out of the 12 bikes that are on the racetrack. Checkered flag is out. Yeah, each group is appearing to get quicker and quicker, so maybe hurting the riders that did good last night who are in the first group. Second group will get a little quicker. Third group is getting quicker. So maybe we'll have a flip-flop of what happened last night. But when it's race time, it seems the cream always rises to the top. But right now the track gets faster. The more they get out there, the more rubber's on the racetrack. This is the 1 bike making one little bobble right there. Get it sideways. The 88 was close enough to take advantage. Really using some body English to make that pass. Chase Sadoff getting by the 1 of Tom Drain. Eisenhart quick time in this session so far, 17.710. Group 2 is on the racetrack. Kicker, AMT singles. There's the 75 Terrence Santero. He went quick time earlier in that first session for a little while. He's from Petaluma, California. Spends a lot of time in Texas, trying to get used to the heat and the weather. Rides a lot of moto down in Texas. Right behind him is the Jet, Jared Lowe, the 63, trying to keep up with the 75. Jared really starting to come into his own right now. He's on the big R Little Debbie Racing again for another year. A familiar bike, a familiar mechanic. Trying to get the confidence. Santero to the top spot, 17.699. That's faster than Eisenhard, 17.710. Jared Lowe up to 5th on the 63 bike, 17.776. Jacob Van de Kooi goes up to 9th, 17.876. Only the fastest 32 out of the combined qualifying times will race at 6:30 tonight. Santero still at the top spot. Kelleher jumps all the way up to 12th in this session. White flag. Keep an eye on the 63. Jared Lowe currently 5th quick in this session. Checker flag is out. Santero looking pretty strong. We'll see if anybody in group number 3 go out there to set the quick time in this session. It'll be a race that first corner. Nobody wants to be in the traffic. One more group to go for your Kicker AFT Singles qualifying out here. Day number 2 at the Royal Enfield Daytona Short Track. 36 riders attempting to make the 32 rider cut. Third and final group is up next. Here they come. Look, it's a race off that corner. They all want to get out front. Hopefully they all shut down and make it through turns 1. There's a bunch of them. They're all chasing the 10 of Walker Porter. This is a great opportunity for the 10 bike to set quick time. Also up there's the 238 Adam James trying to get away from everybody else. That's what Colby Carlisle told him to do, the 4-4. Jacob James is up there as well. They said, hey, just get out of those pits as fast as you can. Go to the front. Get out of there. Get in the clean air. And they're listed at the Fine Tomato. Porter goes up to 8th on that first lap. That is just in this session, not the combined times. Jordan Jean moves into 3rd. The 56 bike from Midland, Michigan goes up to 3rd. Here comes the 93. Caleb Martin. Kmart jumps up to 5th on the 93 bike, the Ohio rider. Caleb Martin, just him and his dad traveling around the country last year, went to every race but one. There's a look back through the field. There's the 82 of Pettin. Pettin trying to find some time. 190 gets up there. Brady Lang up there in the top 20, now to 22nd. There's the 56 fastest on the racetrack right now. Jordan Jean. Looks good in all blue. Porter hasn't picked up the pace just yet. He's sitting right back there in 10th right now. '56 still 3rd quickest in this session. Caleb Martin up there in 5th in this session. Walker Porter 10th in this qualifying session. Qualifying round number 2 coming to a close for the Kicker AFT Singles class. Bronson Pierce makes an appearance right there, the 132. He's up to 11th quick in this second round of qualifying. There's the checkered flag. .277. Savage had a good run last night. Made the main event 26th quick in that session. James Arnaiz 20th. Walker Porter on the 10 was 10th. Not where they wanted to be for sure. Up next will be our Adventure Tracker class for their qualifying session. After the Adventure Tracker class, we'll do some track maintenance. Then we'll have our Mission Last chance qualifier. We'll take 4 of them out of there. Then we'll open up the paddock area. The pits will be open from, it looks like, 5 o'clock until 6:30. Opening ceremonies are at about 6:30, 6:35, right around there. Here comes the Adventure Trackers, led out there by our defending champion on the one bike. That is Dan the Man, Dan Bromley. Ride for Big Mama and Daddy Deep Pockets on that number 1 motorcycle. 97 is Luzak. 45, Will Harris. Dan Bromley wanted to focus on his Mission Super Twin, so that's why he didn't come out in that first round of qualifying. Track seems like it's getting faster anyway, so it shouldn't matter. There's your leader, Dan Bromley, on his Suzuki. A little bit different Suzuki than he rides in the Mission Super Twins class. Bromley at the top spot, Luzak in second, Kistler in third, Beland in fourth, and Will Harris in fifth, and Michael Hill back there in that 6th spot. Henry Wiles hasn't made a qualifying attempt just yet on his Harley Davidson. Maybe focusing on that Mission Super Twin. Got 3rd last night in the main event. Bromley 1:8.735, pretty quick. Luzak is second, 1:8.992. Matty Beland jumps up to 3rd on the 278. As I say his name, he slips the groove down there in 3 and 4, maybe trying a little bit too hard down there, trying to see if he can go a little quicker, a little quicker. There's Will Harris on the BMW, the 45. 5th quick so far. White flags in the air. I'm really looking forward to that next race. It's going to be our Mission AFT Super Twins Last Chance qualifier. We'll do some track maintenance before that, and that'll be the first official race of the day. It'll be right after our track maintenance, and then we'll have our open paddock area. The fan walk will take place in just a few moments. It's scheduled from 5 until 6:30 today. Stop by that souvenir stand, grab that Daytona short track shirt and get it autographed. Meet your favorite rider. Oh, one of them just went up there and just wanted to touch that air fence real quick. Want to make sure they knew what it felt like before the racing started. Using every bit of the real estate. So we'll take a quick break in the action. We'll do a little track maintenance. When we come back, it's going to be exciting. Mission AFT Super Twins Last Chance qualifier. Only 4 riders will make it out of the next race into the first main event of the night because we're doing the Mission Triple Challenge. We'll be right back to Daytona Short Track in just a moment.
Royal Enfield, the oldest motorcycle manufacturer in continuous production, is celebrating its 125th anniversary this year. They are proud to return as the title sponsor of the Daytona Short Track, which kicks off the flat track season for its teams. The 2026 Moto Anatomy powered by Royal Enfield features champion Johnny Lewis, serving as coach to new lead rider Evan Renshaw this year. In addition, Royal Enfield once again features a new lineup of build, train, race, all-female flat track racers that compete on the AFT Pro Circuit. During Daytona Bike Week, check out the Royal Enfield demo area to test the full lineup, including the first opportunity for consumers to ride the brand new Classic 650. After Daytona Bike Week, visit royalenfield.com to find a dealer near you and learn more about the storied past, present, and future of Royal Enfield as it continues to celebrate its 125th anniversary in 2026. Royal Enfield, pure motorcycling since 1901. Back on Track, a Rookies of 79 501c3 charity, was established in 2009 by former racers to help injured racers get back on the racetrack or the track of life. Assistance is provided to injured racers through our posted schedule of benefits and special fundraising programs, where 100% of your donation goes directly to ease the financial burden from an injury sustained on the racetrack. Check us out on the web at backontrack.com and donate today. Every donation is tax deductible and will make a difference in an injured racer's life.
From quick jobs to major projects, getting rentals right takes more than machines. It takes know-how to show up right on every job site, service that keeps equipment at its peak, and local dealers who keep projects moving forward. We're here to deliver everything you need to get the job done right, and so much more. Cat Rentals. More when you need it most.
We're going full throttle with Mission Foods. There's no holding back American flat track when you combine the fiercest dirt track riders and tastiest products. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Gotta have a lucky charm when you ride, right? Makes you feel safe and protected out there.
That's why I never leave home without a photo of the little ones.
Bracelet from my husband.
Lucky rabbit's foot.
Lucky rabbit name's Foot. It's Swedish.
That's a whole rabbit.
Name's Foot.
Well, there's really no need for a lucky charm when you ride.
Not when America's #1 motorcycle insurance got your back.
We're just gonna ignore the fact that Carl has a rabbit.
Name's Foot.
Sugarlands is proud to serve as the official moonshine of Progressive American Flat Track. Sugarlands handcrafts award-winning moonshine, sippin' creams, vodka, whiskey, and more inspired by the traditions of their home in the Great Smoky Mountains. Discover more at sugarlands.com. For over a decade, Dunlop has supported all Progressive American Flat Track classes with their elite flat track tires. Designed for pro and amateur riders alike, Dunlop's DT4 has an aggressive tread pattern, is available in multiple compounds, and can be run tubeless for greater overall performance. Dunlop, the official tire of Progressive American Flat Track. Win every race with VP Racing. Designed specifically for moto and power sports applications, VP's wide line of race fuels, lubricants, coolants, and additives give you the power and performance you need to win every lap and every race. Check out their championship-winning products today at vpracingfuels.com.
Welcome back to the Royal Enfield Daytona Short Track night number 2 out here. It's part of the big weekend at Daytona International Speedway. Tonight is a Mission Triple Challenge, which means we're going to have, looks like we're going to have 13 bikes. Let me see if I can do counting. Let's see, 4, 8, 12, 13 bikes are going to roll onto the racetrack, and we'll take the top 4 out of this next race to make it into that first main event. We took the top 12 out of the 2 rounds of qualifying, and here's a look at it. Out of race 1, we will grid on how they qualify. The top 12 are going straight out of qualifying. The other 4 are racing this last chance qualifier. You only get single points in this first one. How you finish that first one is how you line up for race number 2, and you'll get twice as many points for that finishing order. And that third and final race of the night will be the Mission Triple Challenge main event number 3. The grid is based on how you finish race number 2, and it'll be 3 times the points. You add up the points from the first one, the second one, and the third one. The rider with the lowest amount of points, it's kind of like a, I guess, golf score. If you get the lowest score, you're the winner. So you add up all the points. Actually, you're looking for the highest score. I'm sorry. Back it up. It's the highest score because that last one is triple the points, and that's usually whoever does the best, and that one's usually been picking up the wins. Last year was the first year we tried the Mission Triple Challenge. Tonight, it's Mission Triple Challenge only for the Mission Super Twins class, and it's about to get exciting because that last chance qualifier is up next. They're staging right now, Colby. There's 13 bikes and only 4 positions available in this next race.
And there's a lot of hot shoes in this race. So many fast guys here. Declan Bender didn't end up in the main event last night. Brandon Price, we saw those guys have big issues. How about the second row inside Trent Lowe on the 48? He was in contention to win.
He was 3rd place in the main event before that transmission locked up in his Honda Hornet. You got Brandon Price. He's a Charger. You got 49, Chad Coast. Looked like Cam Smith was fast. Morgan Mishler's out there. Ian Wolf, Michael Hill, Wyatt Vaughn, and Daniel Poole. And also McGrain, who made it straight out of a heat race last night. He is in that second starting spot here in this one. This is a last chance qualifier. And after this race, we're going to take a break in the action for the open paddock area. You guys come on down here to the pit party and meet your favorite riders. But they're going to send them out right now. It is a real quick race. And we're only looking for the top 4 to make it into main event number 1. They're going to give 1 lap to check it out.
It's going to be 8 laps, the distance, Scotty, in this one. And we were just talking off air for a second. The track is so deceiving right now. You have to run it in so hard, but it's so easy to slip up off the groove. The groove's probably about 4 or 5 feet wide at most. But just even towards the edge, the top edge of that groove, you see all that little dust particles that'll pull you off. And if you go off the groove right now, it is over.
Steve Moorhead tried to make that a little bit better. Went out there with that street sweeper, trying pushing the loose stuff wider and wider. So tonight we got a completely different track than we did early on last night. At the end of the night last night, it started taking a little bit of rubber. So again, Declan Bender, the 14 of McGrain, the 95, the Royal Enfield, Evan Renshaw in that front row, and Chad Coase. He's actually back there in that second row trying to swap them spots. Again, they're coming out. How do they qualify? The last bike in the front row is Ben Lau, the Holly Hot Rod. There he is on the Rackley Racing Mission Foods KTM on the outside. So any one of these riders can make the main event. Only 4 of them do, though. Lined up. This is a last chance qualifier. It's a bonus race that we didn't have last night. There's Daniel Poole at the tail of the field. He's got to do it the hard way from way at the back. 8 laps. It's going to go really fast. Just under 17-second lap times in the qualifiers.
Ben Lowe's got a really good position here if he can go up to that groove and get the whole shot, Scotty.
Last chance qualifier, Mission Triple Challenge. Long light, and it finally goes green. McGrain trying to take the whole shot. He does, and Ben Lau, like you said, from the outside, jumps right in there in a second.
Oh, he almost tucks the front there. We stacked it.
Yeah. Trent Lowe goes way off the groove. Trent, he's got to play catch-up now. Again, only 4 will go to the main event. Now he's going to feel like he has to do it.
Yeah, and luckily Trent does have that provisional if he needs it, but nobody wants to waste that here at round 2. But unfortunately, 8 laps on this track is going to be very tough. Ben Lau had that good jump, but Logan McGrain's going to lead us around, and it looks like 2 OTB bikes in 3rd and 4th.
Teammates back there holding on to the 3rd and 4th spot. Out front, the freight train, Logan McGrain, Ben Lau in 2nd, the Holly Hot Rod, Declan Bender. Right behind him is Brandon Price, Renshaw, Chad Coase. Again, only 4 going to the main event number 1, which is right after opening ceremonies. You got to be patient and stay on that bottom right now, don't you, Colby?
Yeah, and if I was Brandon Price, Evan Renshaw's not the guy you want behind you. He's been training really hard with Johnny Lewis, and Johnny Lewis knows the importance of getting into this main event. He's been training him on the short track, getting a little aggressive.
And the title sponsor of this race is Royal Enfield. Renshaw definitely wants to be in that main event, all 3 main events here in the Mission Triple Challenge. It's got to feel good for Logan McGrain, that Ryan Barnes Racing, Schaefer's Motorsports KTM in the lead. Gets the whole shice, holding on to the fort right now. It's only 8 laps, so you've got to be patient if you're out front. Just stay on the bottom of the racetrack. Make no mistakes. Ben Lau makes a little bobble right there, so the laps are already clicking off and winding down. Here comes Declan Bender closing up to the back tire of Ben Lau.
Yeah, and Ben Lau had that mistake going into the first corner on the first lap, was able to keep that up luckily. Makes a little bit of a bobble there, but just needs to get through this thing. These top 3 have checked out completely. Right now it's Brandon Price under fire, even though he's probably got about 3 bike lengths back to Chad Coase, who's now on the outside looking in.
Renshaw has slipped back to 6th in that Royal Enfield. This is his first weekend on that bike and his first weekend with new national number 95. McGrain, Ben Lau, Declan Bender trying to all go straight to the main event. Trent Lowe stuck in traffic. He's only got up to 10th place right now, and I'm sure if he can't make the main event, he might have to use that provisional right here tonight. So laps are winding down. It's an 8-lap last chance qualifier. Here comes 14 from Gap, Pennsylvania off that final corner. Headed to the finish line. Checkered flag is out. Logan McGrain will win the last chance qualifier. Ben Lau is 2nd, so KTM's 1 and 2. Declan Bender is 3rd on the Yamaha. Who is 4th? It's Brandon Price. So the 2 OTB bikes will transfer in. Ooh, that was quick. 14, Logan McGrain taking the win, punching his ticket to that main event number 1. So does Ben Lau, Declan Bender, and Brandon Price. So Chad Coase, Evan Renshaw, Cam Smith, Morgan Mishler, Trent Lowe, Ian Wolf, Wyatt Vaughn, Michael Hill, and Daniel Poole are possibly done for the night. Let's take a look at the replay of the start. A nice start by the 14. The 25 did exactly what Colby said, jump on that groove as soon as he can, but he didn't quite beat the 14 into that corner. Drops down, takes over 2nd. Nice move right there by Price to get by the 95 of Renshaw and take that 4th spot away early. It happens quick, and there goes Trent Lowe way up to the high side. Little bump kind of pushed him up there. So I'm assuming and thinking that Trent Lowe will use that provisional to make it into tonight's main event. So that's it for the racing action early on. The practice and qualifying is done. The pits are open right now for the open fan walk. Just be careful down there. The bikes are extremely hot. Stop by that souvenir stand, grab something to get signed by your favorite rider. Again, the pit walk going on, the pit party happening right now until 6:30. At 6:30, it'll be time for opening ceremonies. It's night number 2 at the Royal Enfield Daytona Short Track. We'll see you at 6:30 Eastern Time.